Hi, just wanted to show you my technique of making a face mask with the nose wire that I have found to be the easiest and the neatest in regards to the top stitching over the top of it. First you'll need a back piece with interfacing, a front piece, a wire casing tape, a pipe cleaner and 2 elastics. Mark the top centre of your back piece on the interfacing side. This is where your tape will go. Right sides together and stitch across the top, and open, lay flat and attach your wire casing. The wire casing I have pre-folded in the centre so I know where the centre is. Fold over the ends and lining up the centre with the centre marking on the top, you pin it, and you'll see I've pinned it really close to that seam, which is the secret. Next, I sew the nose wire casing on along the top, down the side and along the bottom. I put my needle down ready to put the pipe cleaner in, and then the pipe cleaner gets sewn, and you'll see that the nose casing is very close to the top seam. Also, it's important to keep the front piece of your mask separated from the back piece. Make sure you're not sewing that onto the casing as well, and pushing your pipe cleaner in with the chopstick or whatever else you find handy, and sewing it closed. Sometimes you need to twist the pipe cleaner a few more times to get it stiff enough to push it in, and you'll see that's a very neat tight finish. Now I'm going to sew the right side of the mask 1 inch away from the edge, sew along the top seam of the mask, and then stop 1/4 inch away from the edge and put your needle down and lift the foot and turn. Now we're going to push the elastic in and push it in so it's snug up against the seam, and sew back and forth over it and then back down to the side. With your needle down and your foot up, we turn the mask looking for the elastic underneath, bring it around the front of the needle and hold it in place with anything that you have handy. Go back and forth over the elastic, needle down, foot up, and turn and finish just about 1.5 inches away from the centre line of that mask. Now we're going to go down the other side and do the same. You have to really hold that elastic in along the seam, sew over it, and then go down, and then you've got to find the elastic. It's important to make sure the elastic is running straight along the mask and it's not twisted underneath. Back and forth, turn, and then sew again and finish off that stitching. Carefully trim the corners, taking care you don't nip the stitching, and turn your mask inside out through the hole in the bottom and open it out with the elastics gently. Then grab your handy dandy chopstick and give the corners a nice little poke, and then you're ready to iron the mask. So we're going to iron it flat. Make sure that the pipe cleaner at the top is as straight as you can possibly make it, and the opening at the bottom is folded flat and matching, which is what I iron first. So I always iron that bit first. Now the secret to folding the pleats is to fold the mask in half and iron. Then you fold the bottom half of it to meet the fold in the middle up, and then you iron that, and then you turn it around and fold the nose piece up only 1 inch, and you can see I've measured 1 inch there, and then you iron that flat. Now that you've got these creases, it makes life much easier to actually make your pleats. Now you can pull the folds down to make your pleats, and just make sure that they're an equal distance, and the folds are actually looking very even and symmetrical on the other side. Eventually you'll get so good at it you won't even need those pins. You'll be able to just do it and iron immediately without pinning. I have pegged the bottom opening so that that stays symmetrical while I'm ironing it, and then you need to give it a good hot press and taking care of the elastics at the side because sometimes they can melt. Our final step in the mask making process is to top stitch around the top edges, starting at the side, going along on the right of the nose wire and then down the other side, down the bottom, and making sure that the edges meet at the opening, and then along the other side, and it's a neat finish on the nose wire, and voila, we have a neat tidy mask. Thanks for watching.